In St. Lucia, one station appreciates its listeners more than the rest.
Thank you. Far too kind.
It's RCI, the Caribbean Sound, 101.1. Tired of the ordinary at lunchtime? Why not try something smart to chew on? The Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom, informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI, food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. It is Tuesday, March the 12th, 2024, and this is program number 1143 of the Lunchroom. I'm your host, Calix George Jr., and in addition to our radio broadcast on 101.1 FM, you can also get us at our website. It is rcistlucia.com, rcistlucia.com. You can get all our previous shows for download as well on that platform. You can also listen to us live on Facebook. Just search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International on Facebook. We're streaming there. And of course, please like and share that link as well with your friends and family. And if you'd like to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, this Tuesday, the number to do so is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046 is our local landline number here. And as well, you have the option of messaging into our WhatsApp number, and that is 758-724-0008. You can call in as well as message in to that WhatsApp number. And again, it's the area code plus 724-0008. Now, some birthday greetings for today going out to Mr. Roderick Cherry. Happy birthday to you, sir. And we do hope that you're having a fantastic birthday celebration. Also wishing Miss Amani Mathre happy birthday. We do hope that you're having a splendid celebration. And as well to Mr. Ricky Alexander. Happy birthday to you, sir. We do hope that you're enjoying your very special day. Now, a bit of history for today. We go far back to the year 538 AD when the Witiges, the king of the Ostrogoths, ends his siege of Rome. And he retreats to the city of Ravenna, leaving the city in the hands of the victorious Byzantine general Belisarius. In the year 1455, the first record of Johannes Gutenberg's Bible, letter dated this day by Enea Silvio Piccolomini, refers to the Bible printed a year before. In the year 1881 on this day, Andrew Watson made his Scotland debut as the world's first black international football player and captain. In the year 1918 on this day, fearing foreign invasion, Vladimir Lenin shifted his revolutionary Russian capital from Petrograd or St. Petersburg to Moscow. In 1930 on this day, Mahatma Gandhi began his famous 200-mile protest march against the widely hated British salt tax. And in 1994 on this day, the Church of England ordained its first 32 female priests at the Bristol Cathedral in Bristol, England. We now move on to our dish of the day. The Daily Dish is brought to you the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. Need all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasway and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Lance Road in Castries, Bosses Joux Grizzly, and Slack Street in Dufort. Telephone number 453-7939.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Hope you're having a good day. We do hope it's enjoyable. And of course, here in St. Lucia and across most of the Caribbean, there is a good deal of stability. There's a generally very good quality of life. People are going about their business and living their lives fairly happily. Of course, we all have our problems in different countries and different challenges, as the case may be. But it is perhaps fair to say that it is not at a crisis fever pitch. The same cannot be said for our sister country, Caribbean country of Haiti. Haiti is effectively the birth of modern day globalization in the Western Hemisphere. It is the first place, really, where European colonizers decided to stop and establish settlement. And that happened on the north coast of Haiti at a place known as La Navidad. Today, I think it's known as Mole Saint Nicolas. And that is, in fact, where in 1492, Christopher Columbus decided to establish a settlement in the Caribbean. At the time, of course, he thought he was establishing a colony in the East Indies. And ever since that point, of course, the colonization of what was termed by Europeans as the New World began, and it catalyzed in Haiti, and in particular that defined the strife, the challenges, the discord, the destruction of culture, of people that went on for the better part of 500 years. And we saw, in fact, in that island, what known as Hispaniola, island of Spain, that there was the desire to exploit, the desire to control, the desire to extract wealth. There was a looking for a new route to get trade, but there was also that belief and a desire that there could be places in these countries where gold could be found. So in as much as there was perhaps one agenda, one stated agenda, there were always other agendas mixed in to that globalization experiment. In the case of Haiti, in the case of Spanish colonization, which was in fact replicated continuously as the desire for most of these countries of Europe who decided to embark on colonization. And we have seen how this country has moved from one calamity to the next. And in the days of Christopher Columbus and his brother, and who he left as governor, and the names of Las Casas and others who were present in that colony at that time, was really the spread of disease, the genocide of the indigenous peoples who were seen as being not as civilized, who were seen as savages, who were seen as less than people, and who in many instances were killed for sport, who were put to work in search of gold, who were brought back to Europe as slaves, as curiosities to be on display, and effectively an entire population of people who were living there, perhaps for hundreds, if not thousands of years, was nearly to the point of annihilation. And we then saw, as time moved on, of course, the desire to reap the land and the need in the minds of those colonizers for a labor force. And of course, in stepped the desire to bring now persons from Africa, not under work contracts or not under migration arrangements. No, those they were brought here in bondage. They were enslaved and brought to places like Saint-Domingue or places like Hispaniola for the purpose of, again, trade and economic exploitation. And Haiti, of course, has a very similar history to that of St. Lucia in this regard, because during that period of an apparent awakening, which was seen first in the case of the United States, these United States of America, that decided that they wanted their own independence from their colonial power, that of Great Britain. And but even in their instance, very, very highly dependent on the institution and maintenance of slavery in those colonies, which then became the United States of America. It is very much known, for instance, that the first president of the United States was in fact a farmer and a slave owner out of Mount Vernon, Virginia. In fact, in those days, we sometimes think of the United States and we think of centers concentrated, in maybe New York and Los Angeles and Chicago and other places, these metropolitan areas. But in fact, back at that time of the American Revolution, the real heartland of the United States was actually in Virginia. That was, in fact, the colony that had the largest population. And, in fact, I think nearly 40% or so of that population was, in fact, enslaved. And so that institution of slavery was very much front and center, even though there was this proclamation of new constitution and Bill of Rights and the rights of man and all these things being proclaimed, but not for the black population, not for the black man and woman who may have been resident in Virginia and in very many other of these states. And that is important to note, because even as that revolutionary fervor, that desire to do away with these elite systems of monarchies and the maintenance of feudalism, all of that was being dispensed with and being left in the old world, and the rise of these new ideas, new philosophies about the rights of man and all of these various French philosophers who came out about that time promoting that as well, and then of course the French Revolution coming, and then within that vacuum of control, a black revolution, the revolution that set in Haiti very, very strongly. But it also was a revolution that set in our islands as well, and the same in the case of St. Lucia, where individuals identified with that. And in fact, in the instance of the French Revolution at that time, there was actually the abolition of slavery. That was clearly very much present in the minds of individuals in the Caribbean, because they then saw themselves as being free. And they wanted to maintain that freedom. And they, in fact, fought for that freedom. They fought against powers other European powers who were looking to seize the opportunity of whatever they deemed as instability, these transitional periods. And we've seen it right now in Haiti, where you have gang leaders saying, hey, we want to seize the opportunity and put forward our own president and take control. In those difficult situations, a lot of people try to take advantage and manipulate the situation. And the same was the case in the Caribbean, where you had these revolutions going on, and other colonial powers decided that, look, hey, this is an opportunity to seize more colonies, to gain more wealth, even at the demise, even at the struggle of other people, and to, in fact, try to reinstitute the very same systems that these individuals abhorred and were, in fact, liberated from. In the case of St. Lucia and St. Vincent and Grenada, where these rebellions took hold, and in the case of St. Lucia, in fact, there was that year of freedom between 1795 and 1796, and that period where effectively all people had their freedom and left the estates and decided that they were going to eke out their own living and existence. But of course, what then occurred at that time was one of those quote-unquote 7 times British moments, where we then saw Britain coming in now with a force of nearly 12,000 soldiers to effectively put down that revolution and to take control of St. Lucia as a colony. And they were, of course, successful in being able to do so in the case of St. Lucia and St. Vincent and Grenada. But first, in the first instance, St. Lucia, which is the first island they came to, because, of course, the numbers did not pan out in the favor of the freedom fighters. They simply did not have enough manpower to be able to hold off the strength that was being put to them at that time. The same, however, was not the case in Haiti. They, in fact, had, as the largest population in the Caribbean at the time, were in fact able, their strength was they were able to keep out these other interests, including the British and the Spanish at that period of time. But then they still found themselves not part of this wave of liberation, even though they came in number 2 just after the United States of America, because the United States of America did not see them as being an equal state and partner. In fact, it was seen, Haiti was seen as a threat to the institution of slavery. And of course, coming back to the reality of that time in the United States, slavery was very much a critical element in the minds of the legislatures of these colonies, of these new states that had to be maintained. In fact, again, just another little quirk of history, the city of Washington, D.C. was formed along the Potomac River as a capital for the United States of America, and it was originally supposed to have included 2 sections of land, one from the state of Maryland and the other on the western side, or the right bank of the river, from the state of Virginia. And the capital was largely built on the Maryland side, the northern side. And later on, the southern side, or which is known as the Alexandria side, because of the town that was there, even before Washington, D.C. was built, they decided that they wanted out of being within the the capital district of Washington, D.C. And one of the major reasons why they, in fact, wanted out was because they wanted to be able to maintain the institution of slavery. And so, therefore, they preferred to be within the state of Virginia than to be within the capital district where it was not permitted. And so that is one of the very interesting histories that continues. And so up to this day, for instance, Washington, D.C. only has 2/3 of what it was actually originally meant to be. And that is how significant the maintenance of the institution of slavery was for many individuals. And so in the case of Haiti, it was never seen as a good project to move forward with. In fact, everything was put in its place to be to cause that state to fail, to cause it not to be able to succeed. And unfortunately, for 200 years, it has been maligned, it has been misunderstood, even by people within the Caribbean and the rest of the Americas, even though it played a significant role in continuing the fervor of liberty, of revolution across the Americas. And of course, it is very well noted that it was to Haiti that Simón Bolívar, the great liberator of South America, went to seek the support of the Haitian government for ammunition and men to be able to continue his fight against the Spanish Empire at that time, and to liberate Gran Colombia and many of these other countries, Venezuela, that eventually came out of that revolution in the early 1800s. And so we definitely should see that the situation that has befallen Haiti is an indictment on effectively all of us in the Western Hemisphere, and of course all of us around the world to some degree, particularly European powers. And the need to address this matter is significant. We quite often, in fact, Europe quite often saw this new world as a land of opportunity, as a place of coming to find new land, new wealth. And of course, that was the state of migration, which continued right up into the 20th century, right? With millions of people leaving Europe and finding new opportunity, new wealth in this quote-unquote new world. And unfortunately, within this place, which is supposed to be really a place of new opportunity and freedoms and whatnot, we still have significant amounts of inequality and inequity. And in fact, the Western Hemisphere and countries within the Western Hemisphere, for the most part, are some of the most unequal places in the world. In terms, when you look at the Gini coefficients, they really do suggest that there is a great disparity between the haves and the have-nots. And Haiti, unfortunately, is emblematic of this reality that is the colonial experiment, this experiment of globalization into this quote-unquote new world. And so the current situation that we see Haiti in is very, very unfortunate. And everybody can be playing the blame game at this point, no doubt. But action has to happen in dealing with this matter, because it is in nobody's interest to be able to see such a level of chaos, of crisis in any place around the world at this time. And so certainly the eyes of the Caribbean on this matter are very, very important. And of course, coming to the current crisis, which of course we know that was precipitated by the assassination of the former president, Moise, and we then saw an appointment of a prime minister, Dr. Ariel Henry, who had been holding on to power and trying, I suppose, to come to get some sort of control over this country, this Haitian state, and seeking international help. And of course, it has taken quite a while, quite a long time, for Haiti to even, well, and it's still not even there really, to be able to get this help, which it certainly does require at the present. Of course, there are some in Haiti who believe that another international intervention is only going to make matters worse. They're very fearful, of course, of seeing wave after wave of the promise of international help not really panning out. But clearly the institutions that exist currently cannot cope. The national police cannot cope with the current situation. And it is clearly not a matter that can continue to be maintained as it is right now. So amongst all its other problems, the need to bring some level of political stability and law and order in Haiti, but in particular, of course, in the capital, Port-au-Prince, is very much important at this time. So let's take a listen, of course, to the latest development. As of yesterday, there was, in fact, a meeting of CARICOM leaders in Kingston, Jamaica, the presence of the United States Secretary of State Blinken being at that meeting as well, and a decision of resignation by Dr. Ariel Henry, who was, in fact, stranded, so to speak, in Puerto Rico, not allowed to come back to Haiti. So let's take a listen to this clip from Al Jazeera.
The Prime Minister of Haiti, Ariel Henry, has resigned. That's according to the President of Guyana, Irfan Ali, who is the chairman of the Caribbean Regional Group. Henry has been in Puerto Rico since last week after gang leaders controlling the capital warned him against returning to Port-au-Prince. Leaders of the Caribbean bloc CARICOM have been meeting in Jamaica's capital to discuss a political transition and the security crisis in Haiti.
We are pleased to announce the commitment to a transitional governance arrangement which paves the way for a peaceful transition of power, continuity of governance, an action plan for near-term security, and the road to free and fair elections. It further seeks to assure that Haiti will be governed by the rule of law. This commitment reflects hard compromises among a diverse coalition of actors who have put their country above all differences. To that end, we acknowledge the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry upon the establishment of a transitional presidential council and the naming of an interim prime minister.
Let's bring in Al Jazeera's Teresa Bona, who is in Santo Domingo in neighboring Dominican Republic. Teresa, this resignation doesn't really come as a surprise because Ariel Henry had been under a great deal of pressure to step down.
Well, that's correct. It's been days of tension, of violence on the streets of Port-au-Prince and different cities all across of Haiti. And as you just said, this does not come as a surprise. Prime Minister Ariel Henry had traveled to Kenya to sign an agreement for a multinational support team that would help the Haitian police fight against the growing influence of the gangs. However, he was not allowed to return. And since then, we've been hearing the gangs on the streets of Haiti saying that if he goes back, this would trigger a civil war. However, let's not forget that for many Haitians, Prince Ariel Henry is not a legitimate leader. He was not elected. He was handpicked in a way after the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse back in 2021. Many people say that he was unable to solve the problems, the enormous problems that Haiti is facing today. And that's why many are supporting this resignation. We're going to have to see the impact that this has on the ground, what gangs will have to say about him. We've been listening, for example, to the leader of G9, which is a federation of gangs, Jean-Michel Issier. He's also known as Barbecue, who on this day, he was on the streets of Port-au-Prince, in a way threatening hotel owners who were sheltering politicians close to Henry. So suddenly, lots of tension in Haiti. We're going to have to see whether this changes anything at all and the impact that this has in the country.
Indeed, we'll have to wait and see what reaction comes out of Haiti and Port-au-Prince in particular, where, as you say, gangs have been effectively in control of the Haitian capital. In terms of the region, we had this emergency meeting of regional leaders, right? So what happens next then with the political transition? Because the president of Guyana talked about a political transition. What is that going to look like? And what about the future of the multinational stabilization force for Haiti?
Well, what it's interesting to know is that from the very beginning, since 2021, when Moïse was assassinated, the international community, especially the United States, continued to support Ariel Henry, even though many of the people in Haiti did not want him as their leader. People were calling for elections on the streets. What we're seeing now is when Secretary of State Antony Blinken traveled to Kingston for this meeting, something changed. We started to listen, to hear that not only the CARICOM, which is the Caribbean nations, starting to express their concern about what is happening in Haiti right now, talking about a transition, about setting up what they call a presidential college composed of political parties, of the private sector, of the religious community, among others, to try to set up a transition that at the same time will lead to elections. It would be, in a way, accompanying what all the focus, all the attention is on right now, which is on this United Nations multinational security support team, which is basically police forces from other countries. Right now it is from Kenya. Around 400 of them are ready to be deployed, Kenya says, that will travel to Haiti to support the Haitian National Police in their fight against the gangs. Let's not forget the Haitian National Police says that they're desperate for ammunition, weapons, bulletproof vests, among other things, to fight against the gangs. So we're going to have to see, again, it's all in the air right now about the impact that this is going to have in Haiti, because the gangs have a completely different plan. What they want is, in a way, a troika set up by a judge, by a former coup leader who's been in prison in the United States for drug-related charges, among others, to take power. And this is in stark contrast with what CARICOM and also the international community and the United States want. So suddenly, there's lots of issues right now that need to be dealt with, but in the middle, there's the lives of millions of Haitians that are facing acute hunger. Hundreds of thousands have been displaced, and most of them are struggling for food, water, and medicines. That the situation continues to deteriorate.
An uncertain situation indeed. Teresa, thank you very much for that. That's Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reporting from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. Let's return to our top story.
And that there from Al Jazeera, giving you a sense of it. But I think there's a little bit more on this. Let's take a listen.
Prime Minister, who's been out of the country for several weeks now as gangs fought for control of the capital, Port-au-Prince. Let's bring in Harold Isaac, who's an independent journalist live in Port-au-Prince. Thank you very much, Harold, for being with us on Al Jazeera. I know it's very late at night in Port-au-Prince, past midnight. How will news of Ariel Henry's resignation be received by people in Haiti?
Well, it had been hinted over the past few hours that it was to be expected that the prime minister would resign. There was a high-level meeting happening in Jamaica about the steps forward after the tenure of Ariel Henry in power, and that had been hinted in the past few hours to folks here.
Right. So this was expected. How will people in Port-au-Prince react to this?
Well, so far it's late. There hasn't been direct reactions, and also we haven't heard directly from the Prime Minister himself. And we learned it in the closing remarks of the CARICOM meeting that was happening with Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, the president of Guyana. Has announced that they had acknowledged the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry.
But will people welcome this resignation, you think, given the crisis the country has been through in recent weeks and even years?
Well, Prime Minister Ariel Henry had been under tremendous pressure in the past few weeks as violence has soared and swept through the city and led to catastrophic results with ports, facilities being attacked in the airport. Being shut down and cut off from the world right now. So he did go to Kenya to try and get police support, and he didn't make it back. He was stranded in Puerto Rico, and now has been announced to have resigned.
Yeah, he went to Kenya to try and get this multinational force that the United Nations approved to be deployed in Haiti. But of course, the gangs who control much of the capital, Port-au-Prince, have been opposed to this move, to this idea of a multinational force in the country. Now that regional leaders have met and decided that this was the way to go forward, what happens next, do you think?
Well, part of, the object of the meeting today or yesterday was to essentially find a formula to have a government that would essentially be running the country. And the formula that presented and accepted was a 7-member council, a presidential council that would be running the country with representatives from several sectors. They still have to announce the individuals that will be part of it, but that's a formula they adopted and accepted by the CARICOM and the international community.
Okay, Harold, thank you for talking to us. Harold Isaac, an independent journalist speaking to us there from Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Right, and that piece coming from Al Jazeera just early this morning. Let's, at this time, of course, we're going to get back to more of this, but we're going to have to take a break because we're due to take in our weather report. So that's our dish of the day.
This has been The Daily Dish.
One tells for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tells for your balcony. Come down to Tells Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tells Plus, Tells Plus, Tells Plus. Big tells with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. There's all kind of tests. Come down to Tells Plus. We also got gas and vanity. Box, DOS, you'll see. Come down to mind nobody. We got the best tells on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses Ju Grosile, and Slack Street in Dufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tells Plus.
Island style. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, we'll have to make the right choice. Island style. Whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island style. Oh yeah. We make your dream come alive in Island style.
We have tiles and thin sets, pieces and ground. Everything you need to sort the house out. For the best price and the latest style. Take a little drive down to Island Style Car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, quality, price, service, choice. It's all an Island Style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Bellarosa, Rodney Bay, on the John Compton Highway, Castries, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewfort Highway. Or call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And that's what, of course, on 1.1 is now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Tile and Bath. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours, winds will be blowing from the east near 18 miles per hour or 30 kilometers per hour. The weather affected partly cloudy with a few showers, mainly during the early morning hours. course, there is an advisory in there which reads small craft operators and sea beavers are advised to exercise caution due to above normal seas. The forecast for Los Angeles, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy with widely scattered showers over the southern Leeward and northern Windward Islands. Elsewhere, fair to partly cloudy with a few showers. And the weather summary, the Atlantic high pressure system will generate light to moderate easterly winds and above normal seas across the eastern Caribbean region during the next few days. Weak unstable conditions associated with a shear line will cause some cloudiness with widely scattered showers mainly over the central Los Angeles. During the forecast period, patches of low-level clouds drifting along the wind flow will cause a few showers over the remainder of the region during the next 24 hours. And this was the weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Island style, yeah. We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, yeah. We'll have to make the right choice. Island style. Whoa. We got the time that will make you happy. Island style. Oh yeah. We make your dream come alive. In Island style.
We have tiles and thin sets, mixes and ground. Everything you need to sort the house out. For the best price and the latest style. Take a little drive down to Island Style Car.
We got the time to make you go. We got the time to make you say, quality price, service choice. It's all an Island style.
Visit us at our showrooms in Belarus, Rodney Bay, on the John Crompton Highway, Cass Street, and behind Ruby's Gas Station on the Library Viewfort Highway. So call us on 450-452 or 453-TILE. Island Style Tile and Bath. When you think tile, think Island Style.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. Of course, we've been discussing for our dish of the day the ongoing crisis in Haiti and the attempts at trying to bring things under better control. And of course, CARICOM, the Caribbean community, is playing a significant role in trying to broker this and to come up with some reasonable compromises in this regard. As mentioned, there was a meeting yesterday of CARICOM over in Kingston, Jamaica, looking at the matter, and in fact there was an outcome declaration from the Caribbean community as well as international partners and other Haitian stakeholders. There's a release that was sent out, and it reads as follows. CARICOM convened Haitian stakeholders and the following international development partners: Brazil, Canada, France, Mexico, the United Nations, and the United States of America to discuss the multidimensional crisis in Haiti. This meeting followed a series of discussions over a period of time, including those facilitated by the Eminent Persons Group, which engaged a wide range of actors, including Haitian political parties, the religious community, private sector, the diaspora, and civil society. We are pleased to announce the commitment to a transitional governance arrangement, which paves the way for a peaceful transition of power, continuity of governance, an action plan for near-term security, and the road to free and fair elections. It further seeks to assure that Haiti will be governed by the rule of law. This commitment reflects hard compromises amongst a diverse coalition of actors who have put their country above all differences. To that end, we acknowledge the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry upon the establishment of a transitional presidential council and the naming of an interim prime minister. And the following is agreed. The creation of a transitional presidential council comprised of 7 voting members and 2 non-voting observers. The 7 voting members will comprise 1 representative from each of the following groups: Collective, December 21, Aide Red Compris Historique, Lavalas, Montana, PT Dessalines, and the private sector. The non-voting members will be represented by one member from civil society and one member from the interfaith community. The council will exercise specified presidential authorities during the transition, operating by majority vote. The exclusion from the Transitional Presidential Council of anyone who is currently on a charge, indictment, or has been convicted in any jurisdiction, anyone who is under UN sanction, anyone who intends to run in the next election in Haiti, or anyone who opposes the UN Security Council UNSC Resolution 2699. The Transitional Presidential Council will swiftly select and appoint an interim Prime Minister. The Transitional Presidential Council will work with the interim Prime Minister to appoint an inclusive Council of Ministers. The Transitional Presidential Council will hold the relevant and possible powers of the Haitian presidency during the transition period until an elected government is established. The Transitional Presidential Council will undertake the following: appoint an inclusive Council of Ministers, co-sign the orders, decrees, and to sign off on the agenda of the Council of Ministers, set the essential criteria for the selection of an impartial Provisional Electoral Council, or CEP, and establish Provisional Electoral Council. Make arrangements for a peaceful transition, ensure continuity of governance, and establish a National Security Council. Continue to collaboration with all members of the international community for the accelerated deployment of the multinational security support mission authorized by UNSCR 2699 of 2023. It is agreed that implementation of these measures will be conducted in parallel. The parties also made specific individual commitments regarding principles of inclusion, integrity, and restoration of peace and an orderly transition of power. These shared and individual commitments can represent important steps toward facilitating increased humanitarian access to help ease the suffering of the Haitian people. The international community stands ready to partner with Haiti to achieve these goals. Haitian participants must now fully implement their commitments. Haitians deserve a country where children can go to school and the parents know they will be safe. We commend the willingness and courage of Haitian stakeholders to commit to put Haiti back on a path toward democracy, stability, and prosperity. With a framework in place that illuminates a path forward, it is incumbent upon all Haitians to give the agreement a chance to work, to enter into a process of national dialogue, and to lay the groundwork for a transition that is based on inclusivity, encourages participation by all stakeholders, and paves the way for elections as soon as possible. This is the only sustainable path to a future of strong democratic institutions, peaceful resolution of conflict, and security and prosperity for all Haitians. And that was the outcome declaration of CARICOM, international partners, and Haitian stakeholders coming out of a meeting held yesterday in Kingston, Jamaica. And of course, the hope there is that these actions will be quickly implemented. Of course, the crux of it, the heart of it, of course, is that the current Prime Minister has agreed to step aside once there is, in fact, a presidential council named. It's a 7-member presidential council that will effectively bring together a number of different interest groups, a number of different political groups, in the private sector being involved as well as the religious communities, the civil society, to be able to select and appoint a prime minister as well as a cabinet, a council of ministers. They are also tasked with the responsibility of putting together what needs to be seen as an impartial elections council, so as to ensure that Haiti can, in fact, go to the polls, that it can go through the process of electing its government. Of course, now within that context, I mean, that is merely one aspect of the challenges of governance at this point in time. Bringing back law and order certainly goes even beyond the significant challenge as it is of security. There are real issues, real social issues, issues of humanitarian issues that continue to plague Haiti. The need for the economy to be put back on a fair footing, the need for stability will take more than just the security aspect. It would certainly also mean significant support to Haiti so that it can in fact begin to find and it can receive the breathing space. Effectively has to be brought on to some sort of a life support, so to speak, to keep it going and to ensure that it can grow again. And that, of course, is going to require financial support. There has been a promise of US $100 million from the United States of America, but that is really just to support the security matters. Haiti is going to require far more resources than that to be able to do the kind of rebuilding of its infrastructure, in particular the challenges of housing and logistics and transport, to bring it back in order. It needs investment. We have heard over the years that Haiti is in fact a mineral-rich country. It has deposits of gold, the very same gold that Christopher Columbus and his comrades were searching for. In fact, doesn't lie under the Haitian earth, but as well, it has a lot of other minerals that are very much sought after at this time. I think I read somewhere it has one of the is the second largest source of iridium in the world, and so of course it means though that even with these natural resources, though, there has to be an assurance that these can in fact be extracted to the benefit of the people of Haiti, most importantly. And so we've seen quite often, especially when countries are in these difficult times, you know, the other countries come in and they somehow are suggesting that they're going to help, but the deals that they want to strike can quite often not be towards the real benefit of the country. And of course, that is why it's important that there is, in fact, a government in place that has the best interest of the people of Haiti as its most important and fundamental desire at this time. It is the only way that Haiti can get a good deal, a new deal at this point. It is really going to require very, very good government and honest leadership. And so therefore it is going to be a big challenge to be able to establish peace first and foremost, and then within that whole setting to somehow get individuals who are going to become altruistic and who are going to try their very, very best to be able to reinstate things as they are. Now, there are some people who tell you that they have no faith that this is going to happen through democratic processes. There are some people who believe that they would need a benevolent dictator to somehow come forward. But we've seen how those have also gone awry as well. And what is important is really that institutions work, that they are in fact institutions that can serve and be independent. And if that is the case, these institutions have to be insulated. There has to be an assurance that they in fact can deal with the issues of corruption and go against the potential for bribery and the fear that their families may be targeted. And so a lot of these issues are very, very difficult to deal with at this time. So you have a very difficult internal environment, very much devastated. You've got criminal elements at play. You've got a country that has been impoverished for a very long time, that has faced considerable natural disasters, has faced earthquakes and hurricanes, and is of course also facing the accumulated impact of what that has meant upon this country for such a long time. And then on top of that, of course, the security vacuum. And so it is going to take a significant amount of effort and investment. And the question is, how then does the average person in Haiti eke out a living? Because the reality is, these gangs can become relevant because the state cannot provide. The state is not providing, whether it is economic livelihoods, whether it is safety and security, whether it is social and cultural services. So it is therefore incumbent that the state has to be able to be rebuilt. And some may say that there are very few institutions right now that do not need intervention in Haiti. Perhaps every single one perhaps does need the kind of support that would require it to be able to be built. So of course right now the focus is on security, the security of the state, and getting that support from the outside, from the police forces of other countries. In this instance, it is very ironic as well that the country that is coming to the aid of Haiti is an African country, an East African country, which itself, yes, is growing and doing well, but it still, of course, has its very own significant challenges, significant security challenges as well. We've seen the difficult situation with Kenya and the impact of conflicts, whether in Somalia, whether in Sudan, South Sudan, and what that has done in terms of bringing in lots of refugees and sometimes even very dangerous elements into Kenya. So they, of course, have their own challenges in Kenya, certainly. And it is interesting that it is Kenya that is in fact coming forward to be able to provide the bulk of the support to Haiti at a time like this. So certainly kudos to them and the Kenyan authorities, and let us hope that there is in fact going to be additional support for the Haitian government at this time and their national police. Of course, we've heard that they need a lot more than just manpower. They also need other resources, other infrastructure, equipment to be able to support their efforts at bringing back law and order to the capital in particular and the entire country. So $100 million is certainly not enough. $100 million US, 400 police officers or paramilitary support teams, that certainly is not enough either. You can well imagine Haiti has a population of over 10 million people. Port-au-Prince, I think, has a population of close to 3 million or so. So it is certainly going to require even more than what is being put forward at this time by the international community. That's our program for today here at the Lunchroom. We'll be back again tomorrow for another one, and we do hope that you can join us for that. And, of course, we wish you a very wonderful day. I'm your host, Calix George Jr., saying goodbye.